What's up? What's up? What's up? Damn, nobody injured? Big Ben. check. Who was NBA champion when I was born? The Boston Celtics won 43 over the Milwaukee Bucks. Then the Golden State 174, Boston Celtics. Yes, the Sixers won. They beat the Lakers. Moses Malone. Mo Cheeks number retired. Number 6 retired. Julier. number 13. Huh? Here they go. So you working?
Okay. Oh, he's got all kinds.
Yeah.
With them TVs, like
The monitors.
Monitors. Oh, okay.
Mm.
All right.
Okay. Jerry Cross. I never heard of him. Pippen came back in 2003, 2004. 33 retired. Ain't no that. Yeah, Bird's number not retired. Huh?
You get you something yet?
No.
What's that pizza box up there?
Last week.
Last week?
Yeah. Well, it's empty.
Yeah, I figured that. But Kathy getting her some out of that
Okay.
box on the table. The other box is in the bag.
Okay.
One of those green beans still open that bag.
Oh.
I think there's 2 cups that's already filled.
Okay. Hey, what's up? How you doing? This gotta be a mistake. You just earning pick the Nets. When that happened. Oh, Ben Simmons hurt. Cool, and be back.
Jesus and Mero are shaking up late night.
You're gonna get smart intelligence, you're gonna get ignorance all mixed in one.
First guest, Kim's new baby, in utero interview.
Exclusive. Your vision.
Who's doing that late night? Nobody.
I don't do face.
Huh?
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. In this game, we'll see the Chicago Bulls against the 76ers out in Philadelphia. For Philadelphia, they got their season rolling with a nice win in their first game. Now we'll find out if they can build on it and open with back-to-back victories. Some teams fast out of the gate, others not so lucky. Kenny, for the teams that have started slowly, how do they turn the tide?
You know what? About a week ago, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was like, when that happens, you can't panic. The season's just begun. Identify the real problems before you start tinkering on things.
Sometimes a lineup change can help. Things may just have to work themselves out, though.
Time now for tip-off. We get it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
Identify the real problems.
Sometimes a lineup change can help. Things may just have to work themselves out, though.
Time now for tip-off. We get it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Hi, everyone. Time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We've got a special treat for you folks tonight. Sports writing heavyweight Bill Simmons is in the house. Bill, welcome to 2K Sports.
What an honor. I've been waiting for the invite for years.
And we've been waiting for the acceptance. Thanks for joining us.
Let's do this.
Coming in off the road, the 76ers are back in Philadelphia for this game. This their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. Guys, they came out on top of the season series matchup a season ago, taking 2 of the 3 away from them.
And looking back to last season, they won this season series as you'd expect.
Yeah, there's a reason they were a playoff team. I mean, they beat the teams they were supposed to. We'll see if they can do it again tonight.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Guys, Joel Embiid is listed at 7 feet, but at player introductions, they say 7'2" center, Joel Embiid. Now, Brett Brown says when you stand next to him, you understand the difference between 7 feet and 7'2". He's a big man, Kevin.
He is tremendous size and skill to match, GA. Thanks. You know, Bill, the Sixers, they've embraced the symbol of the bell here in Philadelphia, ringing it before big games and after big wins.
What they haven't embraced this year was confetti. Because it came back to haunt them in Game 3.
Shot.
Yeah, the confetti game from the Philly-Boston series. They shoot the confetti, the game's not over, Boston wins in overtime. And I promise you, you'll never see confetti at a basketball game in Philadelphia ever again in your life.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup.
Okay, I follow you. Tampa Bay play. Okay.
Never see confetti at a basketball game in Philadelphia ever again in your life.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup.
Okay, I follow you. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Man, I wish I was in Florida right now. That's my dream place to live, Florida. Yes, I follow you. Thanks for following me.
Dunn and Levine are the guard set. And down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. And it's Porter at the 3.
Well, one thing you like there is the extra pass. Evidence that the game is starting to slow down for Dunn.
Now here's Butler. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And I'll bet that's what they talked about before the game, getting the ball inside early.
Dunn passes to Levine. A three-pointer off the mark. McConnell with it. Outside Butler. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
It's clear that Butler feels confident shooting down low. I mean, he's got the strength and touch to dominate in there.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. Huge. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Bill, Commissioner Adam Silver believes the 2K Esports League will have the staying power of the NBA, WNBA, the G League. Pretty powerful comment to make.
And I hope he's right, because I want to be the lead color guy. I want us to be the team. Why can't it be us, Kevin Harlan?
Are you kidding me?
Let's do that. Cut me the check.
Sign
As Rasheed
me
Wallace
up.
would say, CTC, cut the check.
Bill Simmons is here.
I'm ready.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the 76ers.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
Yeah, they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well, and getting a lot of their points in the paint. Really like the balance they've shown.
You know, Butler came into the NBA a tad under the radar. I mean, he was the last pick of the first round back in 2011. Didn't play much at first, but once he got his opportunity, his career took off and took off fast.
Carter, the pass to Porter, and finished off by Porter.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Now, here's Butler. 11 points for him in that last game against Boston. Embiid against Carter. Embiid, no good. Bulls trail by 5. With Embiid, modern superstar knows how to connect with fans using his social media to his advantage. He has got a very charismatic side to him.
He does. I wish he cared a little bit less about it. I don't mean to sound like an Embiid critic, but I think he's very aware of his surroundings at all time. And you could feel it at the playoff games that I went to in Boston, where he's very aware of the fans, and he's very aware of getting booed and kind of looking around. And I think there's another level that he can go to as a player of just like, guess what? None of that stuff matters. Just play basketball. You're 7'3", and you're unstoppable. I thought he just needs to be a little more locked in and a little less aware of that other stuff, and I think he needs to be in better shape. You saw in the playoffs, he would peak in the first 3 quarters, and by the 4th quarter, I thought he was dead. You could see his hands are on his knees. And the reason he wasn't in great shape was he'd never come close to playing that many minutes in 4 years. So the key for him is, can he play around 70 games a season? Can he play 30 minutes a game? Can he hit the 2,100 minutes for the year? And can he have something left in the tank for the playoffs? Because his conditioning really hurt him again. He would peak in the first 3 quarters, and by the 4th quarter, I thought he was dead. You could see his hands are on his knees. And the reason he wasn't in great shape is he never come close to playing that many minutes in 4 years. So the key for him is, can he play around 70 games a season? Can he play 30 minutes a game? Can he hit the 2,100 minutes for the year? And can he have something left in the tank for the playoffs? Because his conditioning really hurt him again.
back. Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm back. Tell a friend. Back again. Welcome back. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
It's Celtics. And Philadelphia decides to take their first timeout right here. And Bill, on the topic of Joel Embiid, sometimes we don't appreciate what a big man has to go through because constant leaning.
Oh, yeah.
Bumping. I mean, they play a game so different than guys that are on the perimeter. They don't face that constant guy on you.
Right. And the fear with him is some people's bodies maybe aren't meant to play basketball for 20 years, you know? And you watch him, he's 7'3", he's giant arms, giant legs. And when you watch him run, you kind of feel it. Whereas there's other guys when you watch them run and it just makes sense. Like, I still remember seeing KG early in his career. It's like, wow, that dude was meant to play basketball. He was just like a gazelle, you know? Giannis is like that. LeBron is like that. Embiid is really tall, and he's carrying weight, and there's just a lot of pressure going through his joints. And I just hope he can stay healthy.
Like with Yao.
Yeah, Yao is a great example. Greg Oden. Andrew Bynum, I think, is a really good example. Andrew Bynum was the focal point of the Dwight Howard trade in 2012. He's out of the league 2 years later. So, you know, you start going over 7 feet with these guys, and Kareem is an anomaly. Bill Walton, Yao, Ilgauskas, Rick Smith. These are all guys that got injured because they were too tall.
Now here's Simmons. Takes a shot at the elbow. Goes back up. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul goes against Chicago. The 76ers have shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago.
2 shots.
He's off on the first. No luck that time either. Bulls trail by 5. And that one's good. Arcidiacono. Arcidiacono's got his first 2 points of the night. And Simmons has got the ball here for the 76ers. 41 seconds left to play here in the first. Missed inside.
He's been terrible. Absolutely awful. I mean, can't get it going. His shot isn't there right now. He's got to help him some other ways.
The 76ers leading by 3. And good off the lead pass that time. Korkmaz has got his first points of the game.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Pass to Randall. Johnson with the block.
Excellent defensive commitment that time from Johnson. He's always there and present.
Here's Simmons. Tries again. And Johnson with the lay-in good.
Boy, I like seeing that toughness on the offensive glass. Did a nice job judging, anticipating where the miss was going, and then putting it back in. Nicely done.
Here's Arcidiacono. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him.
Simmons so good at staying in front of his man because his feet are quick, his body is strong, and his hands are quick.
And so it's Philadelphia heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. We come back right after this. A native of Cameroon, Joel Embiid talks about making a...
Not knowing English, obviously at the beginning, it was a little bit hard to express myself. Obviously, I can speak English perfectly now, so that's a plus, and I'm just being myself.
And that unique sense of humor, Greg, is a specialty of Embiid.
He's a fun-loving guy who's become a must-follow on social media. And the transition he's made has been remarkable.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what's your take so far on Philadelphia?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Grinding away down low, man, just filing them down. Love the bully ball method. Paying off well.
Ennis out there with Johnson. Then there's Jonathan Simmons. Then there's Marjanovic. And it's Korkmaz in at the 2. That's the group for Philadelphia to start this second quarter. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations.
I love that. Yes, indeedy. And you see why Levine's been a hard, tough out in the slam dunk contest. Has a natural ability to entertain the audience, and that bounce and athleticism certainly doesn't hurt either.
Simmons inside. Knocks it loose. On the wing, Levine. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
And what stood out to me, Greg, was the aggressiveness. I mean, seemed like they just were eager to get it done, wanted it a tad more than the other team.
Good for another basket for him. Number 4 today. He's 4 of 8. Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college, I was dropping them in columns and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, you know, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the 3 ways. If I'm getting to know you, what are the 3 things we're going to talk about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other 2 things for me were sports, pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And, you know, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And so it's McConnell with it. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. 6-point lead. Here's Embiid. The shot from the low post is good. Embiid's got his 2nd bucket of the night. And Bill, in talking about the connection between pop culture, sports, and basketball during your career, through it all, you've always been a writer, though, haven't you?
Always been a writer. That was the only child of me. The thing is, though, I would have watched more basketball, but basketball wasn't on. You know, I try to explain this to people, how lucky they are to be able to watch.
They can't believe these finals were taped away.
Well, but think about the day-to-day, right? Like Magic Johnson. I feel like I saw his whole career, but I really didn't. Like, his first couple of years in L.A., I think CBS was only showing, like, 6 or 7 regular season games.
Sunday afternoons.
In the playoffs, they would bump them off.
Yep.
USA, I think, got the contract in maybe 1982, but for the most part, like, I love George Gervin. I probably saw him play in person twice, and I saw him on TV maybe 10 times, 12 times. And now I could watch Giannis every day.
2 shots.
And if Giannis dunks, I can see it on Twitter 5 minutes later, or 5 seconds later.
It's amazing.
So I think people are lucky. You guys should appreciate how lucky you are out there.
That free throw, no good. Now we've seen some top prospects forgo college, enter the G League straight out of high school. What do you think is the future of the G League, and do you like where it sits right now?
I do. I wish they spent more money on salaries.
I agree.
I wish they blew it out. I mean, I think this is the first year we've had 30 G League teams. This should be the #1 place you'd want to go after high school. You should not want to go to college. You should want to go to a AAA awesome league that's set up.
And they're bringing kids up and down off that G League roster all the time.
It's just better, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed as a professional basketball player. You see the situation we're in now with the one-and-done guys. They go to college. They show up in September. They're playing all the way through till March. Whenever they get knocked out, they drop out of college. And they might last, till round 2 in the tournament, which is March 20th?
Right.
And they're out. So they've been in college for 6.5 months. How's that a good system? They didn't even finish 2 semesters. So I would much rather see the G League work, and I don't understand why they don't spend a little more on it and just make it like a force. I don't think the moves are that hard.
Bulls trail by 11. Levine kicks to Dunn. Pass to Markkanen. And it's off from three-point range.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Bill, what a pleasure to have you with us. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I'd love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Clark, always great to have Bill with us, a content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
All right, a moment to check out the stats for Jimmy Butler. He's coming off an excellent season. He put up about 22 points a game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes naturally.
And, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Philadelphia leading by 13. Embiid inside, defended by Carter. That one is good from Joel Embiid. Embiid's got 7 now in this quarter.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Markkanen passes to Carter. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Just 5 on the clock. Right at the free throw line. Got it. Nice one there from Levine. Levine's got 6.
Tell you what, this is a guy who's really improved his mid-range game. I mean, Levine working hard to become an all-around threat.
Butler attacking. And he drops in the layup off the glass. 17 points in the game.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Here's Levine. Floats one. That one's not going to go. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
We played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace. It's what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. So far, a pretty lopsided game. But right out of the gates, it was Philadelphia setting the tone. Their sharp focus and apparent preparation for the matchup helped them zero in on an 8-2 run off the tip. They lost their lead only once in the first quarter and had no problems finishing ahead by a nice margin when the buzzer sounded. Then in quarter number 2, it was all hands on deck, and what a show it was. Quality execution, good efficiency, some tremendous... And that'll about do it as we...
Welcome back, folks. A glorious view of the lights of downtown Philadelphia, America's most historic city. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here.
Welcome back, folks. A glorious view of the lights of downtown Philadelphia, America's most historic city. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them. Really few forced shots here.
He got 9. He got 8.
So far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So the Bulls 5 right now. And down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. Dunn and Levine are the guard set. And it's Porter at the 3 set. Markkanen dishes to Dunn. And then Carter with the dunk.
Oh, up high and down hard with that one-hander.
He got a little extra forceful. You're right with that one.
Boy, that sounded like Greg Anthony stealing a little bit of Kevin's thunder. I know this guy's hoping to rouse his teammates for sure with that one.
He is, and Greg sounded better saying it than I did. Clark, agility is such an important thing for players to have, obviously. When you look at the offensive end, knowing that agility has that upper value, who are some of the more elusive players you see in the game now?
Man, I don't think there's any more elusive player in the game than Steph Curry. I tell you, he's not the most athletic, he's not the fastest, but he is the slipperiest guy to try to keep a handle on. His ball handling, his shot making, his change of pace. I'd throw Kyrie Irving in there as well. Kemba Walker, diminutive in size, but boy, is he hard to keep corralled. And Lou Williams, one of my favorites. One of the great scorers, maybe one of the greatest scorers ever, under 6'2" in the league.
Some terrific names there. Here's Levine. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Zach LaVine, a high riser. The 2-time dunk contest champ, making his return from that ACL surgery. He can be an explosive scorer.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And from everything you hear, Levine is a big-time gym rat, Greg.
Yeah, you know, I think he's very dedicated to reaching his full potential. And with his shooting and athleticism, I think he's a great fit in today's game in terms of offense.
And so Levine nails both of them. Clark, over your many years in the NBA, you've seen labor unrest, but per the most recent CBA, we have the potential for a decade-long stretch now of labor peace.
Yeah, and I think that's great for all sides. And you've got to recognize that some of the unrest in the past was really necessary to get to this place where we may have labor and league peace for the next decade. I mean, there's no justice without struggle. There's no smooth sailing without some bumpy sailing at times. So credit the league, the Players Association, and the players for getting to this place now where the league is doing well in all measures and the game is healthy and good, but that's a team effort by all involved.
Amir Johnson's checked in for Philadelphia. Ennis comes in for J.J. Redick.
You know what you like about LaVine, he just keeps improving, keeps getting better, a little more strength and focus, and we're talking potentially an all-star.
Timeout called the 76ers.
Yeah, you know, one of the under-talked-about strengths of the Philadelphia 76ers is how they play team defense. I mean, they were top-rated defensively in opponents' field goal percentage last year.
And it's McConnell with the ball. He'll bring it up for Philadelphia. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand. Here's Butler. Good. He's now got 10 of 10 from the field.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, the league has unveiled a 5-point plan to improve player-referee relations. Things became heated last season with a lot of star players ejected for arguing with officials. The emphasis on respect and clear standards of conduct on both sides can only help. Kevin?
Very good point, David. Completely agree. Thanks. Got it. Nice one there from LaVine.
Well, it's been a great start for this offense here in the second half. 4 for 4.
Johnson surveying the floor. And he lays it straight in. Johnson's got his second bucket of the night.
Nice hands that time by Johnson, able to gather and go up with no problems at all inside.
Chicago calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Marjanovic checked in for Harris. Korkmaz comes in for Butler. And Simmons subbed in for T.J. McConnell. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Here's Korkmaz. Nice D from LaVine. Bulls trail by 16. Here's Valentine. That's good, and it's LaVine with the assist. LaVine's got his 4th assist in this one. Outside, Simmons. Lopez with the block. Here's the break. LaVine wide open. The offensive rebound. Yes, that goes in. That's 7 points for Denzel Valentine.
Really active down there, imposing his will and force and seeing his efforts pay off.
And Robin Lopez, one of those dirty work type of big men, rebounding, defending, a lot of grit, setting screens. He does it all.
Yeah, unselfish. He does know his role. It just makes things easy.
Offensive rebound. Yes, that goes in. That's 7 points for Denzel Valentine.
Really active down there, imposing his will and force and seeing his efforts pay off.
And Robin Lopez, one of those dirty work type of big men, rebounding, defending, a lot of grit, setting screens. He does it all.
Yeah, unselfish. He does know his role. It just makes things easy. for his teammates. Has his quirks, but has proven to be a great teammate.
Here's Arcidiacono, routed by Simmons. And that one, good. Lopez has got his first bucket of the night.
Like that execution, Kevin. A successful possession leading to a high percentage basket.
Simmons inside. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Butler.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean,
his first bucket of the night.
Like that execution, Kevin. A successful possession leading to a high percentage basket.
Simmons inside. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Butler.
well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around as his energy is contagious out there right now.
That's good. The Philadelphia lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Levine. Right side, Simmons. Now the pass to Korkmaz. Lopez against Marjanovic. Ennis in the corner. Clock at 4. Lets it go from deep. Here's Simmons. The rebound by Arcidiacono.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
They get it back. Levine kicks to Lopez. And there's a whistle, and that's going to go on Simmons. That's his first foul. Lets it go with a 3. The shot by Arcidiacono, no good. And so it's Philadelphia with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. Back right after this. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. They've got J.J. Redick. Marjanovic is out there with Embiid. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Korkmaz at the point. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. That one is good from Joel Embiid. And the 76ers lead by 10. Now the Bulls with it. Arcidiacono kicks to Randall. Now here's Valentine. Defended by Butler. Back to Randolph. Shoots over Embiid. Randolph can't hit.
And sometimes, you know, you don't capitalize off a good shot or a good look. Still, you got to keep letting those good looks fly.
Here's Butler. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Man, what strength from Butler. Refuses to be tied down or held down. Excellent concentration on the and one.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
Yeah, but also give them credit for the layups they've had tonight after strong drives to the basket.
Dunn looking over the floor. He kicks it to Randolph. Pass to Carter. Bulls moving the ball around. Clock at 6. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by Harris. The 76ers leading by 13. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Good.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Clark, you were drafted 8th overall by the Indiana Pacers. Do you have any indication that you were going to be their pick in particular, that you were going to go in that slot? Was there any kind of inkling at all?
No, I only visited with teams drafting 4 through 7. Talked to the Chicago Bulls, the Dallas Mavericks, and I read some of the reports about where I was projected. But you know what? Once you get past the first or second, sometimes the top 3 picks in a draft, you really don't know who's going where after that. So I was fortunate. I landed in a good spot.
Right.
And Indianapolis was a good place for me and Rosie to be as I started my NBA career.
It sure was. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Jim Boylan was going over with his team. He does not think they're giving him everything. He said they've been faster to us all night. Loose balls, rebounds, everything. We got to wake up. It's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We've got to seize this game. We'll see if he lit a fire under him, guys.
Boy, Dunn is fantastic at moving the ball around, finding teammates with ease.
Now, here's Butler. He's tightly guarded. Makes it off the glass. Butler's got 9 points here in the second half.
And he's the main reason they have the lead right now. He's been perfect from the field, literally.
From 13, the putback. That shot, no good. And the 76ers go the other way with it.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Embiid, that one goes. Count it. Embiid's got 6 in the quarter.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Markkanen against Harris. Puts it up from 12. Markkanen can't get it to go. The 76ers leading by 17. Now Harris. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. And the 76ers lead by 19. And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. And Markkanen throws it down.
You know, when Markkanen's in this deep, he should be dunking it every time. I like to see him use his size like that.
Pass to Butler. And there's a minute 45 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Embiid up and in. That's his 10th make in the contest. He has only taken 13 shots.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Greg. I mean, they're in a groove right now, up big, hard to envision them losing this lead.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Joel Embiid.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness, as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Philadelphia.
They really lit it up in this one. Fantastic offensive performance.
Definitely just simply shot the ball well. One of those games to be proud of.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And you always hope to take charge of the season series by winning that first game. This will put them up 1-0. 3 games left still to play this year against the Bulls.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Joel Embiid.
He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. Ennis comes in for Jimmy Butler. Korkmaz checked in for J.J. Redick. And Jonathan Simmons subbed in for T.J. McConnell.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
There's 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 13 feet away, and he drops that one in.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, frustrating to say the least. I mean, don't even know why they're trying anymore. This one is a wrap.
Johnson against Markkanen. 5 to shoot. Johnson inside. Good on the bucket. And the 76ers lead by 21.
And giving the fans what they came to see, a spirited performance.
Well, they've got to be pleased with the effort they've seen so far tonight. Everybody pitching in for what looks to be a solid.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up for Greg Anthony, Clark. And the 76ers lead by 21.
They came to see a spirited performance.
Well, they've got to be pleased with the effort they've seen so far tonight. Everybody pitching in for what looks to be a solid.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up for Greg Anthony, Clark.
Bye. I'll be back Tuesday.